Everyone, welcome back to Painted Studio. I'm Maury Curtis Dunbar. This is our second live of July 3rd. Why? Because we can. It's 4th of July weekend. It's starting. The studio is going to be closed tomorrow. I'm taking the 4th off. We're going to have some fun at my house. So now today we're having fun today. Hey Maddie, nice to see you. Didn't we just chat on the phone? All right, I'm going to flip the camera down and we're going to get right into it. But I will remind everybody to sprinkle. Use that little arrow button and sprinkle the love, because we've got some contests scheduled for this month and they're all about the sprinkles. All right, so we're flipping down. Okay, so you've seen me do stainless steel cups and things like that. And I picked a couple of these up at the dollar store. These are what they call soup cups. Now, quite frankly, that's a pretty chintzy serving of soup on a cold day, but you know, whatever. But they're stainless steel, they're double walled, they're thermal vacuum sealed so that things stay hot. But while you can put food in these, I thought, what a cute little trinket box too. I mean, they're basically bulletproof, so why shouldn't we be foiling them? So yesterday, I took one of these and I'll show you the basic prep. Whoops, sorry. You take it and you sand it. Now, the reason you sand it is that these are polished smooth. You want a little bit of grip on it. Hey, Joy, nice to see you too. Okay, so you're gonna take this, you're gonna give it a light sanding. Okay, you can do a little more, a little won't hurt anything. Hang on a second, I gotta grab my paper towels. Because as usual, I think everything's right near me, and then I realize I've forgotten something. All right, so paper towel. Let's go back to this. All right, so I'm gonna sand this over, and you know, peel the stickers off the bottom. For heaven's sake. And if you have sticker residue left behind, especially on stainless steel, alcohol takes it off. It's not hard to do. So you can see I've scuffed the whole surface. Then what I need to do is spritz it with alcohol. Partially because that removes the sawdust, but also because these are metal, and that means they've been tooled on machines, and there's probably been lubricants used to keep the metal moving smoothly, and usually they are oil or silicone based, so you want to make sure you clean that off, and then you know, you get all this crud off of here. The next thing you're going to do, hang on a sec, again, I thought I had it right here, but I don't. Thought I could grab a brush, but no, none of them were. It was like my fingers were covered in butter. Oh, and we're gonna do this one as we do the lid as well. So you gotta sand the lid, go all around here. Then you're gonna spritz it and clean it. Oh yeah, they're great to hide mom's snacks, honey. You could probably store a little of mommy's sips in these and nobody noticed. They'd think you're sipping your coffee and really you're sipping a little vodka. Some days that's what's needed. Okay, and so I've sanded, I've wiped these down. I'm going to take some blue painter's tape, and this is plastic. So and it's part of the seal, so I don't want to mess with that. It won't take any of the paint products as easily as the metal will anyway. So I'm just taping it off. And this will stay taped off all the way through to the end unless I need to remove it because things have built up too thickly or something along those lines. Pay attention to your taping job too. The better your taping job, the better your results. So I try to be pretty careful with my taping. I'm going to go back around, burnish the edge down here, and then I'm folding it under. Now the edge is good and protected. All right, so let me grab my paint. I've been working with navy blue metallic set coat. So that's what we're going to use on this, because that's what I've used on the other ones, and I'm going to get you to the same stage I'm at with the others, except for the adhesive. A little heavy-handed in the brush, I dipped it in too deep. Again, I use good brushes for projects like this. Because the better the brush, the better the paint lays. And set coat has some really nice self-leveling properties. And it will, once you've done the sanding and cleaning, it'll bond to this really nicely. If you have any concerns at all, of course, you can always use a metal primer. Rust-Oleum makes a good one. No, we don't carry it. Now, I carefully cut in at the top with my brush. If you're not as comfortable cutting in the way I do, tape it off. You're not painting the screw area for the lid because you need it to seal properly. Brush is a little stiffened up. I don't think I cleaned it as well as I've cleaned others because it's wanting to fight me a little bit in ways that my brushes don't ever fight me. Unless I don't clean them properly. Okay, and then you want to let the paint set up 8 hours. So it'll be dry to the touch in like 30 minutes, but you want to give it a good chance to cure and bond to the surface. That's why I say the recommended 8 hours from Faux Effects. Really every project you do is going to be about securing each layer to be as stable as possible. And if you're not making your layers stable, doesn't matter how good the top coat is you put on it, it won't help. It'll all delaminate from the base. That's why I'm such a big person to speak out against the idea of no prep. Prep is what helps things stay bonded and stay stable for longer. I have tried more than one no prep product, and I'm going to tell you, no prep didn't work. You have to clean, you have to degrease, you have to make sure your surface is ready to accept paint. Alright. I am making a mess around the collar on this right now. It's because my brush is stiff and it's fighting me. It has some dried paint on it. And it doesn't matter which way I move it, it wants to take the paint off. dry now. And we'll put this off to the side. And we'll make sure to soak my brush cleaner. All right, so I'm gonna push the wet one back. Yeah, that's wet with paint. There we go, there's the sticky one, there's the sticky one. Had to make sure I grabbed the right ones so that we saw what we were doing. All right, so that got us to the step right before this, and what we did, we took the same kind of brush, brushed a smooth, even layer of our Artsyville foil adhesive over the entire surface. And we did that with 2 of these wine sippy cups too. Now these I got from, again, from Target. They were like $9. These had a little coating on them, so I really had to sand them well and clean them well before they were accepting the paint and the adhesive. So they had a different challenge than I was expecting. And we're going to foil these. And then once we foil these, we're gonna do other things. And I gotta try to keep my hair out of them so that the hair doesn't become part of the finish. All right, so let me move 2 aside. We're gonna start one at a time. So I think what we're going to do for this is we're gonna use our really gorgeous blue-green tie-dye foil for these 2 pieces. Cut a little piece. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this and roll the jar in it. Why? Because that'll give me the most consistent laying out of the foil pattern. I'm foiling the bottom. I'm folding it over like candy, like a candy wrapper or a gift wrap. So I'm not worrying about how the pattern releases so much on the bottom. Plus, this pattern's fairly forgiving. And now I'm going to rub it with my fingers so that the heat from my hand helps to release the foil. And I know this foil gives a spectacular release. Let me take that off my arm. A little piece of sticker from the bottom of the jar. All right, let's take the toothbrush. Just give one quick light rub over the entire surface. We got one of those nice release bubbles happening, which always makes me smile. Once again, we are open for business, so we might have somebody walk in, and again, we might not. A lot of people are already off and doing their 4th of July weekend. Now, since we're closed on Mondays normally, I'm doing my long weekend from tomorrow through Monday. Oh yeah, look how nice that. Okay, first of all, how good looking is that? Wow, that came out really well. So let's do the lid. Now, the reason I picked navy blue is because foils tend to look their best released over a dark color. Navy blue has looked really good under almost everything I've released over it. Some of it's looked even better in this metallic navy than it did with like a black foil. So I was very careful in my thinking about how I wanted to do this. All right, and we ask you to use your little sprinkle button over there because we're going to be doing contests later in the month. that will all depend on your ability to sprinkle the love. Next week's lives, I think we're going to be doing more on plasters and textures and rollers. This last couple weeks I've been doing a lot of foils, so I thought maybe we're going to step away from the foils and go do a little something different. All right, let me take a look around here, see if I missed any spots. Nope, not a one. And again, look how great that lid came out. I mean, just awesome. Hey George, hey Patricia, nice to see you all here. And if I miss your questions because I'm looking down on what I'm working on, don't worry, I will come back to you. All right, so this alone is awesome as it is, but we're gonna work on another. Like I could leave that alone. Let's be real, like I could leave that alone. All right, so now we have another blue cup, and we're going to pick our purple camo foil. Now, I know it's 4th of July weekend, but those of us in the painting and crafting industries have to be looking towards fall. So, I'm thinking I'm going to start by the season by making my first autumnal witch's brew kind of cup. Okay, again, I'm going to put this on the edge. I'm going to roll the foil. Now this is going to have a little less perfect way of laying on here because my cup is rounded at the base and tapered. So that means that I am going to have to work the shape carefully. But this is going to leave it. I mean, I can already see how the release is happening because I'm getting those bubbles. And if you don't know what I mean by a bubble, sometimes when you put foil down and rub it, you can see the film that held it down come back clear. And if you can manipulate that bubble a little bit, you get great foil release. Now, that kind of manipulation is obviously easier to do on small projects than it is like on a whole wall, say. But it's a killer look. It's a real killer look. It's a very helpful tip. All right, I'm going to use my toothbrush to go around, get down this edge, go around the whole cup. I got to make sure I get the bottom edges too, because I always try to do the bottoms of things. I think they look better this way. All right, let's peel her back. Okay, how beautiful is that? Wow, that came out really well. There's I missed a little spot down here on the bottom. So I'll go back in with my toothbrush and make sure it's released. And let me see if I had a little streak of stuff released right there. I just had one place where there was a big crease, and so it left sort of a big blue line through this, and I just wanted to take the foil back and kind of make that line go away. And then there's a couple of thin spots right here where it was joined, meaning this is where the foil overlapped. And again, this little more work because it's just an odd shape, but not exactly a hard fix. So there we are. And I got to keep that from sticking to the other piece. So again, look at this beautiful release. Look how gorgeous that purple is. But of course, you all know I'm not done with it like that. So I'm setting it top side down. Oh, and the last video you saw of me doing wine cups like this, you will notice that I left about half an inch band around here. And why I'm not doing that with this one, these came with lids, so I don't have to worry about that. But the epoxy that we use to seal these up is food safe. But again, we won't even have to worry about the lip of this. Why? Because it's got a lid. All right, so here's this one, and I have one last pattern to release on it, and I think we're going to use our rainbow stripes. Now, this is going to really be a challenging one because stripes, stripes can be tough. So I have two ways I can figure out to roll it. I can try to roll it so that the stripes are this way or this way. And I need to kind of take a look and see just how badly the stripes are not going to match up if I do, which way I do it. And I need to get the tape not sticking to that foil. So I really kind of want them the long way, so we're going to see how this goes. It might be great, it might be a complete and utter failure. So I'm rolling very carefully, at least so the body here laid down smoothly and I get the straightest lines on my cups that I possibly can. Now I'm going to just slowly and carefully fold the foil down, because we know already that this is not going to lay down in perfect stripes down at the base, because it can't. It's rounded and the foil crinkles. But I think I got a pretty good release going here, so we might be okay. I may have to come in and patch a few things in a little bit in different colors, but you know, that's kind of the deal with something like this. So now we're going to do everybody always says, aren't you afraid of getting paint on your nail polish? I said, the reason my nails are ever done is because I paint all the time, and all the paint makes my nails very thin and brittle. So all my manicures always have paint on them. So that should be pretty well massaged on there. All right, we're going to get a nice release out of this. Oh yeah. Look how good that came out. Now I haven't done the bottom, so there we go. I'm going to go back in because, and honestly, you know, I'll try to match up the pattern a little bit, but I don't care as much because it's the bottom. Really what I need to do down here is just fill it all in, make sure there's nothing unfoiled. There we go. All right, down here around the base, there's some cracks. I've got to take a moment, figure out my foil pattern so I can kind of lay it down and go in and scrub it. Now there's a chunk of something there. There we go. Now that's gone, so this should just stick fine. That's better. Okay. Let's see. I have to pay attention to the direction because the color stories change with the direction of the foil. And this is really piecing together really well. better than I thought it would. There is the seam, I just saw it in the back where the foils overlapped, but even that, it's good. It's not funny looking, so if you take a moment to do this carefully, you can, even with something like stripes, you can get a good result. Let's go right there. So here we have this cup. Now, here's the seam in the back. I don't know if the camera can catch that well. There we go. You can see right in here, that's where the foil overlapped. But look how nicely that reads on these cups. So I'm very pleased with that. All right, so now we've foiled these. The question is, what am I going to do next? Well, that's always a good question. So last week, I had a moment. I wanted to know, because I wasn't happy with the gem glue that I had been working with. It was crinkling up the back of stuff. It was making things do weird things. I wasn't happy. So I bought a couple things on Amazon. I know, oh shocker. So first thing we're going to try today is our E6000 jewelry and bead glue. It's industrial strength, but what I'm hoping, one of the problems with E6000 has been in the past is that it would make the backs of the flat back gems really, I'm sorry, I know I'm stuttering. It would make the backs of the flat back gems pucker up and crinkle like bad foil. It obviously reacted chemically with it. All right, let's get that glue off of my stylus. Wipe it off on a piece of paper over here, set that to the side. Now this is a cool bottle. This is a cool tube. I didn't realize it, but it actually has a little nozzle at the top for you to put in this kind of nozzle, so you have a little more control over your glue. So I bought a couple packages of flat back gems that were, I think, a little different than the ones I have. They all come with all this stuff. They come with a dabber, and they come with a pair of tweezers, and these just came off of Amazon. And the one challenge with ordering stuff like this off of Amazon is, I think this is for marking where you want the jewels, because this just looks like a white, white wax pencil, like the Japanese crayons or Chinese crayons, whatever they were called. I remember when we were kids, that had the paper that you peel back and release it. Okay, so one of the challenges sometimes with buying off of Amazon is you're not really sure how big your stuff is going to be. I thought I was getting much bigger, but I was way wrong. Okay, so this thing is, what is this? The hell is this? I don't even know what this is. Well, we're going to have to open it and find out, because I don't know whether this came with this or if this was something I ordered thinking I needed it. I don't remember this at all. This looks almost like a picker thing. Like you use it to lift up the gems. I don't know if that's what it is. Yep, that's what it is. Okay, so at least now I know what it is. These are obviously, I think these were more specifically designed to be used for nail art, because some of these are so tiny, they're absurd. So I'm going to do this the way I usually do my stuff. I'm going to take a little of the glue, if I can get it to come out of here. Okay, there we go. I'm working on the lid right now, and I'm just going to dot some of these gems on here. Now, this is, again, I love really little fiddly, fussy stuff. So this, to me, is like just a little bit of heaven to sit here and be able to do this all day. And these are flat back Swarovski style crystals. These are being listed as 3 different gem sizes, 4, 5s, and 6s. So obviously one's a little smaller than the other. And I'm just gonna do this for a little while, and you get to watch me put on gems. You know, I'm sure any of you who have ever done any of this kind of work know what it is to sit and watch glue dry. Alright, move this a little bit so that fits there. Now, when I do this on walls, I don't have a fancy tool like this little one that showed up today. Actually, what I have is tweezers like this that I end up getting the tip all covered in glue, and I just use the tweezers, and I'm like this. Boom. So it's really, you know, it's the same principle. You just need a sticky tip on something to be able to pick up the jewels. I think really what I need to do more instead, there's another part of this that I'm not crazy about. This glue likes to just squish out, which I've been through before, but I find that that's wasteful. So I need to, first of all, set that tube of glue upright. Second, I'm going to take some of the glue that was on the table and use it around here. I have the cover on these tweezers, so don't worry, I'm not ruining the tweezers. Just using the tools that I have at hand, because what happens, something goes weird, you got to fix it. Let's get all that glue that squished onto the table. Here, and then I'm going to have to move pretty quick, so I'm not going to talk for a few minutes. I just need to get this all on. glue dried right there. So now I gotta come back in. Just a little more. Clean off the goop. This is always my issue with E6000. It likes to kind of seep out of the tube and then gum up at the neck. So just gotta keep that tip clean. Otherwise it'll be clogged up and you'll never get it to work, and that's just what E6000 is like. Even the Gemtech. Although I am very pleased to say I am not seeing the crystals have their backs crinkle up. I have another set that's really to test. But I also have another Gemtech to work with. Everything placed right, and I'll keep, so there we have the nice gems sitting on top of that. So I'm going to go with that on that lid, and then I think on this one I have these very cute iridescent ones. So we're gonna open this one up and we'll put a little line of the iridescent ones, and those are just going to sit around the base. I'm not going to do them up near the mouth. I don't want to do anything that interferes with how the lid closes on this. Okay, come on. Of course, nothing wants to open up easily. This came with another pencil, and it came with another pair of tweezers. And yeah, just off of Amazon. Nothing, no place I had to go hunting for it. Okay, so these are iridescent. You can see they got a little holographic flip on there. So I thought these would be fun on this lip. All right, so I'm going to take, there's a little, obviously there was a little blob of glue on my lip. I got to clean the extra glue off on the side. So obviously there's a reason they give you a bunch of nozzles too, because this stuff likes to dry up in the nozzle. The glue, so far I'm very pleased with the way this Gemtech has worked. I've had others that I have been less impressed with, to say the least. Oh, now I got to figure out these. These are a little harder, because they don't have, the blue ones have what is a clear backing on it, so it was easier to see the back. Yeah, these don't. So this is a little more work to figure out the front versus the back of the gemstone. So it means half of them I'm going to be picking up and they're going to be on here backwards. Or they'll be on my picker backwards anyway. And this is very literally what it is like on a job site to be doing this. It's slow. It requires patience. And the results are fabulous. But now you know why, if you've ever looked on Etsy and stuff and said, geez, some, those Bejeweled cups that gal is selling are really expensive. Well, now you know why, because this takes time. Okay, oh, there's a little more there. See it catching the light. Here. So I'm not going to make you all sit here and watch me do all of this. This is an idea how to do it. I will finish up this live as soon as I finish this ring around the bottom, and then I'm going to finish these cups and stuff up. And we'll probably do the epoxy in a live later. If I get these cups done today, the live with the epoxy pour around them will be today. If I don't, they'll be next week. So everybody, use your sprinkle button. We appreciate all the sprinkles we can get. If you don't know what sprinkle means, it's another word for passing something on. Facebook doesn't like it if we use their actual word, because then for some reason they don't want as many people to see us if we ask you to use the other S word. So I'm asking you all to please sprinkle the love. That helps us grow our audience, and then we can do some bigger contests. So we got a good one planned for this month. So definitely pass this around. A little glue there. Knife, because it was fresh, dripped right off of the tube. I think that should be enough to finish that round. Okay. That's wrong end. Now, while it looks like I have a lot of crystals, I kind of really don't, because there's so many small ones that will not cover a lot of space. Okay, so this will take a while to get done, and I will probably blast through most of the crystals from each of these just doing one cup. But look how cool is that? I mean, you know, so it's gonna sit like this, and you're gonna have iridescent jewels all over the bottom. I think that's awesome. All right, so I'm gonna set that up. Don't ask me what I'm doing with the purple one yet, I haven't decided. All right, we're flipping back up. I take a scroll down, see if anybody has any questions. Oh, yep, the snap containers are great for everything. I'm thinking they're good for a lot of stuff. All right, everybody, I appreciate you popping by. I know it's Friday. I know you have probably got some fun plans for this weekend. I may or may not be back live today. I've done one already. I've got to video for a while, me bejeweling these cups and do it in time lapse so you all don't have to sit and watch me go. That's not that interesting. All right, everyone. Thank you for the sprinkles. Thank you for the love. And thank you for your time. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.